pressure, and burnout. In 2003, an 18-year-old runner nervously sat at the Prefontaine Classic, a prestigious track event. Just days earlier, he was a high school student preoccupied with thoughts of his crush. Now, surrounded by world-class athletes, he was trying to calm his nerves by playing his Game Boy. As he lined up next to Olympic-level runners, anxiety overwhelmed him. 4 minutes and 1 second later, he became the sixth fastest high school miler in U.S. history. Yet he felt disappointed for not breaking the 4-minute barrier. His obsession with running was evident in his strict routine, waking up early, running 18 miles daily, and sacrificing his social life for training. This dedication made him one of the fastest 18-year-olds globally. At the same time, a young consultant in Washington, D.C. was gaining a reputation for his efficiency and hard work. He excelled at McKinsey & Company, working on high-profile projects, including a model for U.S. healthcare reform. His dedication eventually led him to the White House, where he advised on healthcare. Despite early success, both the runner, Steve Magnus, and the consultant, Brad Stulberg, faced burnout. They later met and shared similar stories, wondering if peak performance could be achieved sustainably. Their curiosity led them to explore the science of performance. Have you ever felt the pressure to perform? If so, you're like most people. Whether in school, work, or sports, many strive to improve. Setting and pursuing challenging goals can be fulfilling. Today, improving performance is crucial as standards are higher than ever. Roger Bannister's 4-minute mile was once seen as the limit, but now many athletes surpass it. New athletic records are set weekly, and competition is fierce globally in both sports and the workplace. Global talent pools and scientific training have raised the bar. Jim Clifton, CEO of the research firm Gallup, warns that we are on the precipice of a global job shortage. Companies like Amazon are reducing costs with technology. Machines are getting smarter, taking more jobs. Antidepressant use has already risen by 400% in the past decade, and anxiety is at an all-time high. As people seek an edge, they may turn to supplements and drugs. The supplement industry exceeds $100 billion annually, despite little evidence of benefits. Students misuse Adderall for a mental edge, similar to athletes using steroids. Professionals also use drugs like Adderall to stay competitive. Anjan Chatterjee, chief of neurology at Pennsylvania Hospital, predicts workplace doping will increase as people work longer hours. In sports, doping is widespread, with many athletes using banned substances. Even amateur athletes use performance-enhancing drugs. This culture of performance at any cost leads to suspicion of exceptional achievements. People who compete face unfair challenges. A 2014 survey of more than 2,500 companies in 90 countries found that many employees feel overwhelmed. Workers check their phones about 150 times daily. More than half of white-collar workers feel they just can't handle more information. Many Americans skip lunch breaks, working through meals, nights, and weekends. 27% of Americans work between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., and 29% work on weekends. On average, American workers leave 5 vacation days unused yearly. All of this results in a 47-hour work week, leaving 53% of American workers feeling exhausted. Many people push themselves too hard. However, there are principles that can help you achieve healthy, sustainable success. The growth equation. To strengthen muscles like biceps, you must find a weight that is challenging but not too heavy. You want to avoid injury, but lifting too light won't help muscles grow. The ideal weight leaves you tired, but not hurt. Lifting every day without rest leads to burnout, while infrequent workouts won't build strength. The key is balancing stress and rest because stress plus rest equals growth. This equation applies to physical, cognitive, and emotional growth. In exercise science, this cycle is called periodization. Stress challenges the body, followed by a dip in function, but with rest, the body adapts and becomes stronger. The cycle consists of isolating the muscle, stressing it, resting, and repeating with increased stress. World-class athletes excel at this cycle, alternating hard and easy days and prioritizing recovery. They design their training to include peak events followed by rest periods. Those who balance stress and rest become champions while others risk injury or stagnation. Dina Castor, a renowned American runner, exemplifies this balance. She trained at high altitudes and achieved extraordinary success, including an Olympic bronze medal and an American marathon record. Her success stems from mastering stress and rest. This approach prevents burnout and fosters breakthroughs. Researcher Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's findings on creative geniuses show that both physical and mental performance require stress and rest. Social psychologist Roy Baumeister's experiments showed that mental energy depletes like physical energy. Resisting temptation or solving problems drains mental resources, affecting subsequent tasks. Mental fatigue impacts physical performance, and resisting temptation can lead to poor decisions. Like muscles, the mind strengthens with stress and recovery. Building willpower through small changes enables you to tackle larger challenges. Stress is stress, and fatigue from one task affects others. Only take on a few challenges at once to avoid running out of energy. Adjust the environment to support goals, especially when fatigued. Stress plus rest equals growth applies to both body and mind. Josh Waitzkin's story illustrates this balance. At age 6, he discovered chess in New York's Washington Square Park. By age 8, he was defeating much older players. By age 13, he was a national master, and by 16, he was an international master. His journey was captured in the film Searching for Bobby Fischer. Later, Waitzkin shifted to Tai Chi, becoming a world champion before age 30. His success in both chess and Tai Chi stemmed not just from talent, but also from his approach, balancing intense effort with recovery. The role of stress. In 1934, Hans Selye, a young endocrinologist, was researching hormones at McGill University. He injected rats with various substances, observing the response. He realized the response was not due to the injected substance, but to the stress of the injection itself. He then systematically traumatized rats through injections, shocks, and surgeries. Each time, the rats showed the same stress response. Their bodies prepared for danger. This led to the discovery of the concept of stress. Selye discovered the universal stress response, a reaction to trauma shared by nearly all living organisms. Stress activates inflammatory proteins and cortisol, signaling the body to strengthen under pressure. However, too much stress causes harm instead of growth. Waitzkin realized that growth happens at the point of resistance. This insight applies to learning and physical training. Studies show that students learn better when they struggle with problems before receiving help. This productive failure fosters deep learning and skill development. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman's research divides thinking into System 1, automatic, and System 2, analytical. True learning requires System 2, which involves effort and struggle. Neurons in the brain form connections that strengthen with practice. Over time, challenging tasks become easier as they shift from System 2 to System 1. Csikszentmihalyi's concept of flow, a state of being fully absorbed in an activity, involves just manageable challenges, tasks slightly beyond current skills. These challenges promote growth by pushing individuals out of their comfort zone. Magnus designed such challenges for athletes like Sarah Hall, who trains at a pace slightly faster than her previous best. External factors like weather and deadlines, and internal factors like motivation and health influence the challenge level. It's important to balance stress with recovery. Regularly seeking just manageable challenges fosters growth. Identify a skill you want to improve. Evaluate your current ability and seek challenges slightly beyond your reach. If you feel too comfortable, increase the difficulty. If you're too anxious, ease up a bit. Deliberate practice. In the 1990s, behavioral scientist K. Anders Ericsson studied how people become experts. Contrary to popular belief, experience alone didn't lead to expertise. Ericsson found that physics professors at UC Berkeley didn't consistently outperform students on introductory problem sets, despite years of experience. Similarly, psychologists and physicians didn't improve at making diagnoses from radiographic scans with more experience. Ericsson discovered that deliberate practice, not just time spent, was key to expertise. He studied violinists at the Global Music Academy and found that top performers practiced with intense focus on specific goals, eliminating distractions. This deliberate practice was more important than the number of hours. Erickson's research extended to athletes, artists, and intellectuals, showing that deliberate practice sets top performers apart. The 10,000-hour rule, the idea that anyone can become an expert at anything by practicing for 10,000 hours, is misunderstood. It's not about hours, but the quality of practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. Deliberate practice involves tackling just manageable challenges with deep concentration. Top performers are fully engaged. Multitasking feels productive but reduces the quality and quantity of work. Studies show that multitasking can waste up to 40% of productive time. Chronic multitaskers struggle with filtering information and pattern recognition. Engaging in tasks with singular focus leads to growth. Technology, like smartphones, can be addictive, distracting us from full engagement. Dopamine, which is released during unpredictable rewards, makes us crave the chase. A well-known example is gambling. This addiction to unpredictability also explains our attachment to phones. Effective work requires full focus. To avoid distraction, simply turning your phone to silent and placing it face down isn't enough. Keeping a phone nearby but not checking it is like telling an addict to ignore a visible syringe. The urge for reward is strong. Many people experience phantom vibration syndrome, feeling their phone vibrate when it hasn't. This shows our subconscious desire for notifications. Even if you resist checking your phone, it takes effort and diverts focus from tasks. A study in the Journal of Social Psychology found that visible phones, even if not owned by participants, worsened performance on tasks. Smartphones distract us whether they're on, off, or not ours. The best way to prevent this is to remove them from sight. Walter Mischel, a willpower expert, found that moving temptations out of view aids self-control. Recovering gamblers avoid casinos and dieters hide unhealthy foods. Great performers also know their stress limits. Erickson found top performers can't sustain intense work for more than 2 hours. They work in 60, 90-minute chunks with breaks. The Draugiem Group, an international social networking company, found their best workers followed a routine of 52 minutes of work and 17-minute breaks. Other studies show similar patterns, with work-rest cycles yielding the best results. This approach prevents burnout and enhances productivity. Growth and challenge. Mindsets affect our responses. Carol Dweck's research at Yale University showed that children with a growth mindset who believe their abilities can improve perform better than those with a fixed mindset. Psychologist Kelly McGonigal found that viewing stress positively reduces premature death risk. What researchers call a challenge response to stress, seeing it as productive, leads to better health outcomes. Cultivating a growth mindset and challenge response enhances health, longevity, and performance. At the start of an Olympic event, athletes show determination, not anxiety. In contrast, local 5K runners often appear nervous. Elite athletes aren't immune to stress, they just channel it effectively. A study of swimmers showed both elite and non-elite athletes felt stress before a race. Non-elites saw stress as harmful, while elites used it to enhance performance. Research in the Journal of Experimental Psychology suggests that re-evaluating anxiety as excitement improves performance. Suppressing nerves wastes energy, while embracing them as excitement shifts the mindset from threat to opportunity. Stress, when managed well, stimulates growth. The first half of the growth equation is stress, which, in the right dose, promotes growth. Skills develop from struggle and productive failure. Stress should be applied in focused blocks, free from digital distractions. The value of rest. Rest is the second half of the growth equation. Google values rest. Employee 107, Chad Meng Tan, introduced mindfulness meditation at Google to help employees manage stress. His program, Search Inside Yourself, soon became popular. Mindfulness meditation helps us transition from stress to rest, enhancing the prefrontal cortex, which controls thoughtful responses. An experiment at the University of Wisconsin found expert meditators could turn off stress responses, while novices could not. Elite runners engage in what Magnus calls a calm conversation during pain, separating themselves from it. This ability is similar to the practice of expert meditators. Elite runners develop a strong mindful muscle through focused training, likely resulting in a well-developed prefrontal cortex. Magnus worked with Brian Barraza, a young runner who initially failed to qualify for a national championship. Barraza learned to embrace discomfort during races. By accepting pain and staying calm, he improved his performance, eventually winning a qualifying meet. This mental growth was crucial for his success. Mindfulness aids athletes in both performance and recovery. Heart rate variability, HRV, the space between heartbeats, is a measure of recovery, and elite athletes return to baseline HRV faster than non-elites. Matt Dixon, a top triathlon coach, emphasizes the importance of rest for athletes. Triathletes often overtrain, leading to burnout. Dixon's athletes avoid this by prioritizing recovery. Dixon, known as the recovery coach, helps athletes understand that rest can enhance performance more than extra training. Dixon's athletes see rest as a productive part of their routine, and they arrive at races both fit and fresh. In a society that glorifies constant work, it takes courage to rest. Rest is an active process that fosters growth. Roger Bannister, aiming to break the 4-minute mile, took an unconventional approach by resting before his record attempt. Instead of intense training, he hiked in Scotland, allowing his body to recover. Upon returning, he continued to rest and avoid panic training. This strategy left him physically fresh for his historic run. On May 6, 1954, Bannister ran a mile in under 4 minutes. His success demonstrated the power of rest and recovery in achieving peak performance. In 1929, psychiatrist Hans Berger's studies revealed that the brain remains active even at rest, challenging the prevailing belief at the time. Neurologist Marcus Reichel later identified the default mode network, which is active during rest and crucial for creativity. Creative insights often occur during breaks from work. The subconscious mind, active during rest, can solve problems the conscious mind cannot. David Goss, a mathematician, found that stepping away from work allowed his subconscious to generate groundbreaking ideas. How to rest. The benefits of interval training extend beyond athletics, as output declines after 2 hours of hard work in any field. Mindfulness and stepping away from work engage the subconscious mind. Different types of breaks offer different benefits, from a short walk to a good night's sleep. Short breaks, like walks, boost creativity. A Stanford study showed that even short walks can significantly enhance creativity. Walking breaks also improve physical health, countering the negative effects of prolonged sitting. A University of Michigan study found that nature is another creativity booster. Viewing nature, even in pictures, improves performance and mood, aiding the transition from stress to rest. Experiencing awe from nature lowers inflammation-related molecules, promoting health. Mindfulness meditation also helps with stress recovery, strengthening the prefrontal cortex. A daily meditation practice is recommended. Social interaction is another key factor in recovery. Social connection increases HRV and releases beneficial hormones. Relaxed social settings are most effective for recovery. Surrounding yourself with friends after hard work shifts the body from stress to rest. Many people are tired because they don't get enough sleep. About 65% of Americans sleep less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours, with 40% getting less than 6 hours. In 1942, people slept an average of 7.9 hours, but now it's only 6.8 hours. Technology keeps us connected and working late, disrupting sleep. Blue light from screens is particularly harmful, affecting our natural sleep cycle and making it harder to fall asleep. A Harvard study showed that reading from a blue light device delayed melatonin release by 90 minutes, disrupting sleep. Sleep is crucial for memory and learning. Sleep researcher Robert Stickgold found that during sleep, the brain processes and stores information from the day. Sleep also helps with emotional processing and self-control. Lack of sleep affects decision-making and performance. Athletes prioritize sleep. Sleep helps the body recover and grow stronger after stress. Stanford University found that more sleep improved athletes' performance. Basketball players who slept more sprinted faster and shot more accurately. Napping can't replace nighttime sleep, but can boost energy and focus. NASA found that a 25-minute nap improved judgment and alertness. Naps of 10 to 30 minutes are effective, but longer naps can cause grogginess. To improve sleep, aim for 7 to 9 hours per night. Expose yourself to natural light, exercise, limit caffeine, and avoid blue light before bed. Use your bed only for sleep and sex, and keep your room dark. Avoid alcohol close to bedtime, and keep your smartphone out of the bedroom. If you struggle with a racing mind, try mindfulness meditation before bed. When drowsy, go to sleep. For a midday energy boost, take a short nap. Bernard Lagat, a top American runner, has been taking a 5-week break each year since 1999. This rest period helps him stay physically and mentally healthy, allowing his body to recover from intense training. Many elite runners take breaks to recharge. However, most Americans rarely take such breaks, often working through weekends and not using all their vacation time. This constant work leads to a cycle of never fully resting or working hard, known as going through the motions, which hinders growth. To perform at our best without burning out, it's crucial to incorporate rest periods. Rest should be strategically planned after periods of stress, similar to how weekends were originally intended. Unfortunately, many people continue working through weekends. If work culture makes it hard to take breaks, it's important to discuss the need for rest with employers. Extended breaks should follow long periods of work. While situational factors can make it difficult to plan vacations, research indicates that breaks of 7 to 10 days improve motivation and well-being. However, vacations alone can't fix burnout if underlying issues remain. Rest is essential for sustainable performance. The growth equation, stress plus rest equals growth, guides structuring time for improvement. Great performers plan their routines to maximize their potential, and so can anyone by incorporating rest into their schedule. The benefits of routine. Matt Billingsley finds a quiet corner in a crowded locker room to prepare for a big performance. In 30 minutes, he will play in front of thousands of fans. He does a calisthenic routine, hopping side to side like a prize fighter. This routine, perfected over the years, is essential before every event. He makes wide circles with his arms and activates his core and back muscles. His blood flows, joints loosen, and muscles warm up, signaling readiness. With 10 minutes left, he focuses on calming his mind, taking deep breaths and visualizing his moves. He aims to enter the zone, a state where performance feels automatic and effortless. Billingsley's routine helps him consistently reach this state. It creates normalcy and comfort in an otherwise stressful situation. As he enters the arena, the crowd roars and Taylor Swift begins her performance. Billingsley, behind her on drums, relies on years of practice and a solid routine to perform at his best. Such routines, repeated consistently, lead to peak performance. Interestingly, Billingsley's routine doesn't involve drumming. He uses fitness techniques like push-ups and jumping jacks to prepare. This approach, learned from his time as a personal trainer, helps him enter the physical and psychological zone needed for drumming. Megan Gournier, an Olympic cyclist, also relies on a routine. She does yoga before races to prepare her body and mind. Elite athletes have precise warm-up routines to optimize performance. Mood also affects performance. Positive moods enhance problem-solving and creativity, while negative moods hinder them. Avoiding negative influences and fostering a positive mood can improve performance. Surroundings also matter. They influence behavior and performance. Creating an environment that supports your work can enhance your ability to perform. Having a dedicated space for work, filled with objects that encourage desired actions, is crucial for peak performance. Csikszentmihalyi emphasizes the importance of intentional surroundings as they become extensions of ourselves, fostering harmony. Consistently working in the same environment strengthens our connection to it. Behavioral neuroscientist Daniel Levitin supports using a dedicated writing computer, as it reinforces the link between writer and task. Strategic routines are more than superstitions. They prime our bodies and minds for specific states, making work more automatic. Minimize to maximize. Michael Joyner, a Mayo Clinic researcher, exemplifies minimalism as a way to maximize productivity. He eliminates distractions and focuses on what's essential. Joiner's routine includes early morning work, a short commute, and avoiding unnecessary decisions, like choosing clothes. This approach conserves energy for important tasks. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg simplifies his wardrobe to reduce decision fatigue. He believes in focusing energy on significant tasks rather than trivial decisions. This aligns with Baumeister's theory that mental energy is limited and decision-making depletes it. Simplifying choices helps preserve energy for more critical decisions, enhancing overall performance. Decision fatigue affects everyone, even with trivial choices like picking a t-shirt color, which can deplete mental energy and lead to procrastination. Each decision requires the brain to process options, tiring it like a muscle. To conserve energy, focus on important decisions and automate the rest. Becoming a minimalist in decision-making allows more energy for meaningful tasks. Judges are expected to make unbiased decisions based on evidence, but research shows their rulings are influenced by the number of decisions they make. A study found judges granted parole 65% of the time in the morning, but almost never in the evening due to decision fatigue. This mental exhaustion leads to default choices, like denying parole. Doctors also make more errors as the day progresses. Great performers also align their work with their natural energy rhythms, known as chronotypes. Larks are alert in the morning, while owls peak in the evening. Understanding personal chronotypes helps us schedule demanding tasks during peak alertness and creative tasks during off-peak times. This approach maximizes performance and balances stress and rest. Social influences are another key factor in motivation and behavior. In a study at the Air Force Academy, cadets' fitness improved based on the motivation of the least fit member. Motivation spreads like a contagion, affecting everyone in a group. Happiness and sadness are also contagious, influencing behavior and performance. Surround yourself with supportive, motivated people. Social circles significantly impact behavior, as seen in studies showing increased obesity or smoking rates among friends. The right environment fosters success. Great performers show up daily, even when uninspired, driven by something greater than themselves. This consistency, supported by routines, helps them perform at their best. Purpose-driven peaks. Tom Boyle heard his wife scream in panic after a Chevy Camaro hit 18-year-old Kyle Holtrust in Tucson, Arizona. Holtrust was trapped under the car, screaming for help. Without thinking, Boyle lifted the front of the Camaro, which weighed about 3,700 pounds, to free Holtrust. Boyle tripled the world record deadlift and then returned to his job as a paint shop supervisor the next day. Such acts of superhuman strength are recognized by scientists as real, often occurring in life or death situations. J. Javier Provencio, MD, explains that in normal circumstances, fear and pain prevent us from reaching our limits, but in emergencies, we can override these defenses. Tim Noakes, an exercise scientist, proposed that fatigue is controlled by the brain, not the body. His experiments showed that muscles still have energy even when participants felt exhausted. The brain acts as a central governor, shutting down the body to prevent harm. However, in extraordinary situations, this can be overridden. Jennifer Farr Davis wanted to set a new Appalachian Trail speed record in 2011. By the 12th day, she was ready to quit due to physical exhaustion. Her husband, Brew, reminded her of their shared commitment, helping her realize that her focus on the record was misplaced. She shifted her perspective from personal ambition to her love for nature and her husband. Farr Davis focused on thoughts beyond herself, which helped her overcome psychological distress. This change in mindset allowed her to break the hiking record, earning her the title of National Geographic Adventurer of the Year. Strecker noted that her experience exemplifies ego minimization, using purpose to overcome fears. Research shows that reflecting on core values can make the brain more receptive to challenges, helping people face fears more effectively. Victor Strecker, a University of Michigan professor, experienced a personal tragedy when his daughter Julia, who had undergone 2 heart transplants, died at age 19. Strecker found purpose by focusing on helping others and teaching his students as if they were his own daughter. This self-transcending purpose helped him overcome his grief. Strescher's research shows that focusing on a purpose greater than ourselves minimizes the ego, allowing us to overcome fears and achieve more. Purpose not only enhances physical performance, but also improves everyday tasks. A study found that workers who believed their jobs positively impacted others performed better. Purpose reduces burnout and aids in maintaining healthful behaviors. Our ego often holds us back, but focusing on a purpose beyond ourselves can help us push through limits. Linking activities to a greater purpose can motivate us to continue when faced with challenges. Hospital janitors perform better when they saw their work as crucial to patient health. College students raised more funds after hearing how their efforts helped a scholarship recipient. Motivation increases when work is linked to a greater cause. Athletes Ashton Eaton and Meb Keflezighi achieved remarkable feats by focusing on a purpose beyond themselves. Eaton broke a world record, inspired by the thought of motivating a child watching him. Keflezighi won the Boston Marathon, driven by the memory of bombing victims. Motivation helps us endure pain and achieve greatness. Artist Emil Alzamora finds motivation in creating art that connects people. Angela Duckworth's research on grit shows that a strong sense of purpose helps people persevere. Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl emphasized the importance of purpose in enduring hardships. Burnout often occurs during high-stress periods. Traditional advice suggests taking breaks, but behavioral science offers another option known as give back to get back. Helping others can renew energy and motivation, as shown in research by psychology professors Shelley Taylor and Adam Grant. Giving back activates brain reward centers, making it a powerful antidote to burnout. Teaching and nursing jobs attract people who naturally want to give. However, the daily routine can make them feel like just a part of a big, inefficient system. Providing chances for direct, impactful help can reduce burnout. Grant notes that feeling a lasting impact protects against stress and exhaustion. He advises those in high-stress jobs to find ways to give back intimately. Grant's personal story is insightful. Before becoming a best-selling author and top professor, he was a competitive diver. In high school, he practiced 9 hours daily and developed blisters. Despite being in peak form, he had a disastrous meet. He became depressed and wanted to quit diving. His mentors encouraged him to coach younger divers, which rejuvenated him and reminded him of his love for the sport. He resumed diving and had a successful collegiate career. Magnus, like Grant, found fulfillment in coaching after burnout from running. Coaching high school runners helped him rediscover his love for the sport. A self-transcending purpose doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from within. Create your own purpose. Purpose isn't mystical. It's based on rational reflection. It can be religious or secular, and it's okay to have more than one. A self-transcending purpose enhances performance and makes the world better. Developing a purpose takes only 15 to 20 minutes. Start with understanding your core values, which guide behavior and actions. Choose up to 5 core values, like achievement, community, or creativity. Customize each value to make it personal. Write a purpose statement reflecting these values in 1 to 3 sentences. For example, you might write, helping others discover their potential, or creating beautiful art. Reflecting on purpose daily can improve performance and health. Writing down reflections enhances these benefits. Expressive writing, exploring foundational life issues, strengthens the immune system and reduces depression and anxiety. It provides a safe space to reflect on important issues, releasing tension. Living in alignment with purpose enhances performance, vitality, and health. Building a life that fulfills your purpose leads to happiness and health. Putting it all together. Setting challenging goals and immersing yourself in improvement leads to peak performance. Remember the growth equation. Stress plus rest equals growth. Develop an optimal routine and purpose. Focus deeply. Avoid distractions and work in blocks of 50-90 minutes. Embrace a growth mindset by viewing stress as preparation for challenges. Adapt these principles to fit your personal style and share experiences to foster a learning community. Meditate daily, starting with 1 minute and gradually increasing. Focus on your breath, letting go of distractions. Take breaks during challenging tasks to refresh your mind. Prioritize sleep by aiming for 7 to 9 hours, adjusting based on personal needs. Expose yourself to natural light, get exercise, and limit caffeine and alcohol. Keep your bedroom dark and free of electronics. Practice mindfulness to calm a racing mind. Create consistent routines and use dedicated spaces to enhance productivity. Link behaviors to cues, automate trivial decisions, and match activities with energy levels. Surround yourself with positive people and show up consistently. Align your work with your chronotype for balance and avoid negativity to maintain strength. The ego limits potential by urging retreat from challenges. Overcome it by linking actions to a greater purpose. Increase motivation by focusing on helping others. Giving back prevents burnout and enhances performance.